Hello, my continuously creative quilting friends. Welcome to day 20-something of shelter at home. I don't know, I think it's Friday and it's 20-something. It's all starting to blur together. But welcome. It's 2 o'clock. I do know that because here we are live on Donna's Design Threads Facebook page, and I'm really happy that you guys joined me. Gonna try a new different little setup here with the camera, so this is a learning experience for us all, that's for sure. So we wrapped up yesterday on our half square triangle little tutorials and different ideas, and afterwards I got this really fun email from Anne. Hi Anne, thank you, on a little bit different way to do them, where you kind of draw them out yourself and make the markings and do a big long strip. That was a lot of fun. So maybe more to come. I will play around with that and maybe bring you some more tips and tricks on that in the future. So stay tuned. But I did want to show you really quick this quilt. This is one of the first quilt patterns that I wrote and sell. It's called Simply Churned because it is a churn dash block, kind of scrappy and fun. And this is our half square triangle in the corners. So I just wanted to show you that. These are cut at 2.5 squares at 3 inches. Cut them down to 2.5-inch half square triangles, and then they sew down to 2. So this is a fun pattern available on the website, donnasdesignthreads.com, and it is also included in our 20% off everything on our website using the code that is on the site. It's right there for you to see, nothing fancy. But this is a really fun way to use up some scraps. I did find though that the secret is to keep all of these rectangles the same fabric and all of your triangles the same fabric, and then something different in the center. So really cute, fun way to use those up. This is quilted with Feathers a la Mode, which is a co-design with my friend Elisa with the Quilts Valor, the Quilty Girl. Look her up. She's an awesome quilter and friend. So I just wanted to show you that before we get into, yesterday I promised you we were going to do English paper piecing. And I don't know if it's the English that came up with this technique or exactly where that name comes from, but it's a really fun hand stitched. We talked about the slow stitching projects a couple of weeks ago, and this is another one of those. I have quite a few of them started because it's fun, but it does take a long time, I guess, and I get easily like I want to move on to the next thing. But someday I will finish each one of these projects, I'm sure. It's, you know, on the list of things to do. But this is a fun take-along project in the car, or camping, or to the doctor's office, or wherever you can do some hand stitching at. So this pattern, the first one I'm going to show you are these flowers back here behind me. This is the pattern. It's called Perpetual Spring. And it really caught my eye when I saw the picture. The gal's name is Florence Knapp. She actually is in England, I believe. And her Instagram page is called like Fussy Tea Cakes, and she just has the cutest stuff. But when I saw this, I do love the 2-color, but I wanted to do something a little brighter and use this color scheme, I guess, the coral and the navy and the aqua. So that one is actually, I have all of the flowers done, and I'm just working on all of those little background pieces that are the navy. So I'm going to bring one of these down because I'm going to show you the back of it in a little bit. Okay, so what is English paper piecing? English paper piecing is a technique where you have some kind of little template, and it's usually made out of a thicker paper like a cardstock weight. So here is a shape. This is a kite shape. So there's lots of different shapes. You can see this other one back here behind me is the clamshells. I showed you that one a couple weeks ago too. So anyway, you start out with, this is your finished size. And then you have to cut the fabric a little bit bigger. So this one actually came with a template. I already have all of these wrapped. So, but anyway, this one came with a template. So you cut your fabric out about 1/4 of an inch bigger than your piece, because then we're going to wrap it around. So you wrap your piece of fabric. I thought I had one cut here. Maybe I'll grab the... I'm telling you guys, 2 o'clock sneaks up on me quicker and quicker every day. All right. This is the clamshell one. And here we go. Okay, so here is a clamshell fabric that I've cut out a little bit bigger than the template piece, the cardboard, I guess, for lack of a better word. So here's the cardboard piece. So what you do is, I'm going to tilt you down here. Okay. So what you're going to do with that is set the cardboard on top, and then you use a glue stick, and you can use, this is a So Fine one. You can tell I've used it a lot because it's worn out, or So Line. But you can also just use a regular Elmer's glue stick. So you take your glue stick and you just run it along the very edge of the cardboard, and then you just glue the fabric down onto that template. And especially when you're doing like these little curves and stuff, you want to make sure you don't get any pleats, or you just kind of work it around. Okay. So it's that simple. Now this clamshell one is a little bit different than like this kite one that I was showing you, because you don't glue the bottom part of this one down. It's a little bit different technique, but that's how you, and if you did get any where it doesn't, like wants to get a pucker or something, you just kind of keep the glue, add a little more glue, and just keep working it down. I just don't have enough glue right there. Just nice. You just want it to be, look around on the front, make sure it's nice and smooth on the front. Okay, so here you can see on this one, this is a little hexagon flower that you actually glue down all the sides. And same thing on this little kite one. So the fun thing about this kite one I wanted to show you, this was from a class I took, so this one doesn't actually have a project yet, but look how fun that's going to be. Do you see how those all come together and make the little flower in the center? That's because on this fabric, I actually did this class that I took taught us how to do fussy cutting. So what that means is that this shape, this kite shape, I actually cut in the exact same place of the design of the flowers on the fabric. So let me show you what I mean by that. I'm going to move this one out of the way. We'll come back to that because I do want to show you how to stitch those together. Okay, but let's do a little sidetrack fussy cut here. Okay, here's this beautiful Tula pink fabric, right? Has this really fun bee. So you take you want to use your cardboard piece because that's going to be the finished size. Don't use the plastic acrylic yet. So you have to use this little two-way mirror, and look at that. How fun is that? So let's see. Let's put these come together at this bigger point. So we're going to put that there, and then you bring the mirror right up to where that point is for the angle. Okay. Then you move that away, and it shows you what your little kaleidoscope is going to look like. So then you leave that there. Okay, now I'm going to set my template there. Okay, and I'm going to trace around that so that I know, you know, using a pencil, I'm going to trace around the template so that I know where I'm going to cut that out at. And then I'm going to take this paper away and then let's see. Okay, so then once I cut that out, it has this little sticky on it, and you actually take the fabric that you cut out, the piece that you cut out, and it sticks on there, and then you move that over to the next repeat and make sure that it all those lines line up. So that's really fun. That's how to get a really precise fussy cut so you get that kaleidoscope or that flower look. Okay, so I want to show you once you have all your pieces together, so you can see these two that I've already sewn them together, and they're all going to come together like that. So each piece has to be sewn on the sides. So the best way to do that is put the two side by side that you want to go together. You can put a little clip on there if you need to. And then I already have this one started at the end. You start with a little knot in there. And then you are going to just grab the very edge of this side and the very edge of this, well, the one next to it. This one's kind of tricky because I've got those little tails right there. But you don't want to grab too big of a bite because then your stitches will show through the other side. So this is called a whip stitch, and I'm using the straw needle that we talked about when we talked about needles. So it's nice and sharp and thin and strong. So you just keep doing that little whip stitch all the way. So you can see why it's a little bit time consuming, but it gives you a really nice stitch. Okay, my needle came unthreaded, so that's all I'm going to show you. So then once you open that up, you'll see that your stitches don't really show, and it's going to hold those all together. So that's really fun. Then once you get all of the sides sewn, then you can take the paper out. Like this one, I'm not going to take the papers out yet because I don't have this stitched down. This is actually going to go on a block. So I'm going to applique that down, but then how am I going to get the papers out? What I'm going to do is I need to get a bigger block, but then I'm going to cut a little piece out of the center of just this fabric, and then I can go in there and pull those papers out. So that's why I wanted to bring this one back over and show you. So this one is, I've taken this center piece out, but I still have all of these to take out. So I just wanted to show you these ones. They're glued down, so you just kind of have to work them out. And be able to get up to one of the edges. Once you can kind of get up to the edge, then you can pull that paper out all along the edge. I think I got a little piece up in there still. I'll get some tweezers. So there you go. So the paper doesn't stand there forever. It's just there for a temporary guide, temporary, just to kind of hold your pieces in there. So that's really fun. So that's my little blurb on English paper piecing. The reason I wanted to show you guys this is because this week I started a customer quilt that's on Gerda. I've been working on it. I have a couple rows done, and it's completely entirely paper pieced and then appliqued onto blocks, and it is amazing. So I talked to her and said, is it okay if I show? And she said, yes, please show. So here we go. I'm going to flip you around and show you. This is a Lucy Boston is the name of the block. And she definitely did that fussy cutting. Do you see how every single piece, this is actually, all the blocks look so different, but they're actually all the same pieces. It's the same exact block. They just look different because of all the different placement of her fabrics and the way that she fussy cut the fabrics. Just absolutely stunning and gorgeous. So working on quilting that. Like I said, I got the second row done up there. I'm on working down, roll down to the third row. And then just for fun, I have to show you what Gomez is working on. This is Diane's quilt, and it's very nice traditional pieced quilt, a sampler type block of the month or something like that. And we are quilting the Baptist fan. It's looking good, Diane. Well, you guys, thank you for joining me all these days of the shelter at home. Our governor here in Colorado has changed our orders starting on Monday to be safe at home. So we're not, I guess, mandated to stay home. I'm sure that a lot of us will still be staying home and still being careful, because this obviously the threat is not over yet. But I am going to continue to do Facebook Live with you guys. I'm just going to cut back a little bit and do it once a week. So right now my plan is to do Wednesdays. That might possibly change, but that's going to be my plan for the foreseeable future, is going to be Wednesdays. So you guys come back and join me next Wednesday. We'll stick with the 2 o'clock, keep something kind of consistent. And until then, you guys stay continuously creative, and I will see you in a few days. Bye.